Welcome back to Japanese Friendship Garden and Museum of San Diego's podcast. I am your host, Momoka. We have guests today for our episode, Corey and Lila. They are the CleanUp Kitsune, who is an environmental performance art project designed to generate waste awareness through culture and creativity.
Nailed it.
And thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having us.
We're so grateful to be here, and we love the garden. The garden is absolutely one of our favorite places to be, and I love what you are all doing here and creating and cultivating this natural space here in the heart of San Diego.
Thank you. How did you guys find out about us?
Oh, the garden. I've been to the garden before I ever lived in San Diego.
That's right.
I found the garden a long time ago. We've had an affinity for Japanese culture, but that's a good question. I don't remember how I found you. Probably a Google search or looked on maps, but we try to go to as many gardens as we can, but in different states. But that was over 10 years ago.
I was trying to think about when that was, if it was on a trip down here with somebody from...
Yeah, I know. I think we went with my parents, right?
Possibly.
The first time. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, that's forever ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went with a friend when I came down here to give my passports.
That's right.
We went to the garden.
Nice. I'm glad you guys found us.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys do as a cleanup kitsune?
Yeah, as CleanUp Kitsune, we basically, the easy answer is we go around to different events or different public spaces and we pick up litter and trash. And the longer answer is that we are trying to inspire people to be more mindful about their interactions with items that they purchase or the trash or waste that they may have. And we say we pick up trash and litter kindness. So we also just have interactions with people where we just try to, we give a lot of high fives and hand hearts.
We pass out sustainable stickers and origami, and I think at the heart of CleanUp Kitsune, we wanted to create a way people can relate to doing better and to doing good. Picking up trash is such a simple thing that we can all understand, and it's about bringing awareness of the amount of waste we create in human daily lives. And it's not just something that we're taking, but it's something that we're leaving as well. All of our interactions and transactions in society, it leaves us with a lot, and we live excessively. It's hard to describe, really. I mean, everybody understands litter. They see it. It's hard to ignore, and it's always hard to just have the time to pick it up. I mean, it's a dirty subject, and it's hard. Once you start picking out trash, when do you stop? And even us, when we're not in costumes, it's hard to always pick up stuff, or you're always seeing stuff, and if your hands are full, and you have to walk over a piece of trash because it's everywhere. And we wanted to do something that was simple for us, but that was inspiring for someone else, and we wanted to make it creative. We wanted to have fun with it because we've always liked picking up trash, and we've always been frustrated by the state of things, and we understand how people can be careless sometimes, or the wind can have a mind of its own, but the reality is, we're all doing the best we can with what we got, and we're just trying to catch people's interest and kind of break the social mundane for people. And to see people dressed in kimono and masks, they're really curious, what's going on there. And I think when they don't quite get it, and which is great because it causes conversation. But when they see us picking up trash, I think it really clicks for them. Maybe not the whole kitsune part, but the idea that we have these bamboo basket backpacks, and we're being very outgoing with people, and we're playful with people, and we're stop and take pictures with families, and we really hang out with kids, and we try to inspire happiness, and because it brings us happiness to pick up trash, and I think that kind of happiness is contagious for people. We have so many opportunities we have with kids where they see us picking up trash and they'll go and pick up trash too, and like we don't speak, so we don't ask that of anybody.
Right, exactly.
It's really what people get out of CleanUp Kitsune. They take from their own personal toolkit or what their experience with the world, and they look at CleanUp Kitsune, and it's kind of it's kind of a reflection of them in a way, which is really cool, because we think change starts from within, but it's stimulated from the outside world. It's inspired, and we don't want to ask that of anybody else. We just hope to inspire that people carry a bit of CleanUp Kitsune with them, if not just picking up trash, but maybe just keeping a smile on their face to share with another.
Okay, so for those who don't know what they look like, you guys usually wear the kimono and have the basket that came up, and then you have the kitsune mask, which is fox, if you don't know what kitsune is, and they look so cute, and like they said, they don't speak at all, but like the gestures, you can just feel their kindness, like from the body language and just how you look. So that's how they look like. So why kitsune?
Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, thank you for saying that.
Kitsune is we've always had, like I said, an affinity for Japanese culture, and the kitsune for us is kind of I don't know how existentially we're going to get into this, but I think simply, a kitsune is a benevolent or malevolent creature, and it has a choice who it wants to be, and it's a shapeshifter, And I think we all at any given moment have a choice on who we want to be and be the person we aspire to be, or the mentors or the role models we grew up with. And a kitsune is there's some folklore that shows that a kitsune also has very strong connection with the elements, and it comes from a naturalistic perspective. So for us as environmentalists, we wanted a creature that is ambiguous, but is also playful, and we wanted to do some good and speak to that good in that naturalistic world, and that's why we love yokai. We love the idea of the mystique of yokai, and the mysticism and the folklore that comes with yokai, and it's really just about, and there's really not a lot of lore, written lore that's dating back of yokai. There's some specific evidence of yokai, but it's really about the human journey that brings yokai to life, and their experience, for better or for worse. And the kitsune has always been an attraction for us. The Shinto the Shinto kami Inari, which is the god of harvest and good fortune. We think of looking at that characteristic, and we've been to Kyoto, and we've been to Fushimi Inari, and we think in some ways we brought back a piece of it back when we went, and we just, I don't know, really, I'm getting off topic here, but what about you, Lila?
I love everything that you said. You went really deep into it. I was just trying to think of what about kitsune are kind of recognizable for people, but they're also not necessarily recognizable for people. And I was trying to relate it in that way too. But there's familiarity in a way.
Pop culture, people get kitsune, even though
for better or for worse, though, because they relate it to other things like Demon Slayer or other anime or games, but it's
a socially accepted yokai. I think it's a very popular one,
right?
Especially in pop culture. But when you try to bring some relevance to what you're doing to performance art, how are people perceiving you? How are they connecting to you, and what are you bringing to it? It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be doing it for them. You could be doing a part of it for you, and you're just educating them. And that's what we love about yokai. That's what we love about Japanese culture. There's so much like incredible elements of betterment when it comes to Japanese culture, like that we wish to adopt here in the States, in California specifically, and just for personally our lives. We love bettering ourselves, utilizing different help me out, like different Japanese philosophies, if you will. And there's so much about caring for oneself and caring for another, and like the progression, like using Kaizen to build upon yourself and be better every day. And
right, but also that personal responsibility that I mean, the way that people are responsible for their own like trash and taking it home with them on the train after they like get done at work or whatever, like that's something that we could really utilize here as well. Like just being responsible for yourself and the products that you create and
your possessions. And, we were inspired by the cleanliness that Japan maintains. I mean, it's so it's
respectful, honestly. Like it's really respectful the way that people not only do it for another, but they do that for themselves. Like, and
it's impressive how much care and intention and integrity that they maintain. And that's what you do here at the garden, right? You create this incredible space, and it's kind of ironic, really, like that we're here at the garden so often because like it's always so clean here and it's pristine, and like we love like any opportunity that we can to get back to the garden and take care of it. But back to the original question, why the Kitsune? I think it's simply it's notable, it's ambiguous, it's playful, and it's a creature that could be as deep as you want to make it and go as far as you want to make it. But it's a part of us, like, too, in a way. Like, I think our journey is very not very cut and dry. Personally, if we're getting personal, like, yeah, it's kind of a testament to like the personal growth and like how many things we do and how many hats we wear as individuals, like bringing to life the Kitsune to life, but also the theatrical aspect of the masks too. I mean, with No theater and Kabuki theater, I think that's such a fun. We're both actors, so we come from we met in theater, and just bringing that presentation to life through another aspect of Japanese culture is like really fulfilling for us. And as actors, being performers, and the mask is a great way for us to. The Kitsune mask is really a great way for us to allow someone else to maybe see themselves behind the mask, and not, we don't paint our faces and we don't show up like as ourselves. We show up as this
ambiguous character,
that people could maybe take on themselves and take a piece of that home, and think that maybe they could be the ones behind the mask doing a little bit better at the park or and at home, with bringing that kind of positivity and growth to their life.
Wow, that's amazing. It's funny that you mentioned yokai. I mean, Kitsune is usually known as yokai, but we do have a yokai exhibit right now. If you haven't checked it out. Yokai is Japanese monsters, but they can be good too. So there are some yokais obviously that are scary, but some are very nice, harmful, and sometimes good luck. So that's amazing.
I think yokai are a lot like people, really. I think they're and not every
different kinds.
and even the malevolent ones. Like, I think they mean well in their own way, but they can be misunderstood or they can be misguided. So, but yeah, we love the allure of yokai and like find that world to be so fascinating, and we really enjoy bringing it to life.
You guys do an amazing job for that. And you also mentioned you went to Japan, and so how clean it is in Japan. I personally think, because I was born and raised in Japan, we clean after ourselves since we're like elementary school. So we clean our school, bathrooms in the school. We take turns to clean everywhere in the school, so that's like just a normal to us. I think that helps Japanese people to have those like mindset of just clean up for themselves. But it's not like that here.
It's not like that here in schools, and I wish like that it was taught from a young age. Like that is such a cool thing that you guys, that it rotates out, and like everybody has a different job every time. It's not like that here. There's definitely a sense of like, oh, the janitor will take care of it, or somebody is hired on and that's their job to do it. But I think you miss out on a sense of responsibility for your space if you rely on something like that.
And that's what we're trying to do here. We're building a school program to work with kids to bring more. I think it's more understanding, responsibility, and accountability at youth. And doing it in a simple way, like kids go to school every single day of their lives. You know, they hit 5 till 18. That's all they see and that's all they know. But when you walk away from something like that, and to your point, Lila, like you kind of miss out on like, hey, what am I responsible for? And not everybody has chores at home, right? Or not everybody does those chores at home very well. I know I was one like that, you know. But I think if you're given, I think kids deserve an opportunity to be given more responsibility from an early age, because it would surprise you like how much we can carry those sensibilities and those like empowering skill sets from our youth into our adulthood. And I think we miss out on that. Like, and being a kid doesn't always have to be like, we want kids to be kids and to explore, but I also think being a kid it's really good to have a sense of place and belonging and to take care of, you know, like you're only going to make your habitat or your home that much better if you take pride in it. And that comes with cleaning. I mean, cleaning is such a simple way for all of us. Like we like to say, like if, you know, our outside space is clean, we can, it's that much easier to clean our inside. And there's so much going on in this world, and like, and kids are just, you know, they're inheriting, you know, all our problems as adults. And like, but if we can, you know, if we can begin to make better humans from make smaller humans, they'll grow up to be better humans, bigger humans. But like the school classroom, like, that's so cool. We see a lot of videos. It's, you know, that's only our experience.
Exactly. Not growing up that way, but really appreciating that.
The Japanese respect for your space and respect for, you know, your space with another and how it relates to another. That's what we find just so admirable.
Yeah, the power of like just making them think that's the normal way. That's powerful. And I know you guys had about 55 volunteers during the cherry blossom this year, and you guys trained them and then educated them so that they can sort out the trash or pick up the trash the right way. And you guys, I mean, are amazing. You guys picked up about 2,688.31 pounds of trash during the 4 days festival. How was that?
Yeah, so we have a very unique opportunity to create the Happy Helpers program with a Japanese Friendship Garden with you guys and it's a program about it's an internal volunteer program that is environmentally based, but you know, it's a simple way for CleanUp Kitsune to be to help with our expertise, and we both run an environmental nonprofit, Lila and I, so we're in the environmental world all the time. That's where we spend all our time, so we're able to kind of help create this program that's you know, self-sustaining, but it's also a program that inspires the already incredibly passionate volunteers that you have at the garden to give them maybe an elevated set of responsibility when it relates to the environment and how the garden sees, you know, a lot of trash, especially during those big festivals. You know, that's when we have a lot of like vendors and a lot of food, like all the good Japanese food. So, you know, with all that food and all those people, I mean, you saw like 20,000 people over 4 days for the Cherry Blossom Festival. So that's a lot of trash, right? So with the help of 55 volunteers, Lila and I were able to help train these volunteers so that they knew what to look for. And we had what's called waste organization, and feel free to jump in there.
You could. I'm like, go for it. Go for it. Love it.
We had these waste organization stations, and they separated organics, recycling, landfill, and liquid waste. And we wanted to create a more visual presence for not just like how the garden operates, but more like a visual for people coming to the garden to learn a bit more about how really necessary it is to sort our waste. Everything, traditionally just goes to landfill here in the United States, and it's just bad practice. And it's difficult. It's time consuming. It can be messy, but that's a part of being human. It's like taking responsibility for the way we live.
Right.
And
just because you're finished eating a bag of chips does not mean that you are finished with that bag. Like it's that extra layer of like, it is still your responsibility to make sure it gets to the right place.
Yeah, we're responsible for the waste we take and the waste we make. And so that little, Mylar bag, a chip bag, is this, it's this hybrid between plastic and aluminum. And, that Mylar bag can take hundreds of years to break down in a landfill, and we're just creating piles and piles of trash. And that trash, when it does break down, it creates what's called methane and carbon dioxide, and it warms our planet. It's what's warming our planet. So if we can just eliminate that waste from going to the landfill and being maybe repurposed, or that organic waste, turning into to compost that we can even get to use at the garden, and or if that liquid that doesn't get trapped in that plastic water bottle, that liquid then can go right back into our freshwater source or evaporate. Those are the key things that we're trying to show people, and the Happy Helpers did just that. They were, we had an incredible group
team
of people that were just dedicated to rolling up their sleeves and getting down dirty with us. And they were able to sort the trash at the waste stations and help the guests sort their own trash, and people were really receptive. Of course, we had some people that will wait in line for 30 minutes to get their food, but then maybe they didn't wait quite 30 seconds for throwing away their trash. But they were intrigued about why is this such a formal trash station, and the Happy Helpers wore Kitsune masks and happy coats, and the amount of trash, we saw 2,600 pounds of trash that came through the lower garden, and we were able to divert nearly 1,600 pounds of that from going to the landfill. And that's incredible. That's over half, to get recirculated. That kind of trash can be repurposed. Yeah. And that's so cool that that you guys were interested and supportive of that idea and concept, and just helped us bring it to life. And it's such important work that you don't really stop and figure out until you get a chance to do it. We're also busy, and there's so many things to do, and there's so many great memories to make at the garden. But if you pay attention, you can change the way we see waste. You can change the way where waste goes, and I think that changes inevitably starts to make changes to who we are and how we see our marks on the world and in our environment and on the garden.
Well, yeah. So I looked at these numbers and I was like, liquids 76 gallons of liquids. It was just ice.
There was ice. People sometimes get a drink and they may not necessarily like it. So what's crazy to me is how many people throw away an almost full drink. It's wild, but sometimes you don't like it. That's fine. But yeah, it was between ice and juices, coffee,
boba.
tea, boba, which we strained out luckily and put in the organics. But
there's just a lot. There's a lot of liquids, especially that we go through, that we just end up throwing away, and it gets trapped in a landfill, or it gets forgotten about.
Or it goes through the landfill, becomes toxic water, or
it's surprising. You do a deep dive into the trash, and it's a wild work, but it's it's a necessary one to pay attention to.
Yeah, because there are so many ways to like separate the trash. It's kind of intimidating.
Intimidating, right? But Japan has
yeah,
like 20, 40,
right.
it seems some places they have 40 different like categories, and can you imagine like just your daily life always trying to categorize where we have it so easy and yet we make it so hard over here in the States. Like, what are we doing?
Right.
But also like
But I get it because like that's just how it's been for so long. We're finally starting to see some like movement towards the separation of stuff, but it's been just throw it in one place for such a long time.
and that's because that's, well, like you said, like that's all we've ever known.
Exactly.
But in Japan, they're teaching their children to grow up to be these adults that already have this skill set in place.
Right.
And like you're saying, like it just becomes commonplace. This is just all they've ever known, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is there any other way but to organize our trash? And that's what we're interested in with CleanUp Kitsune, is bringing this education to kids and to youth and saying, hey, like, it's actually, like it could be fun. Like, yeah, it's dirty, but it's also your trash. It's your dirt. Like, it's really not that bad.
It actually becomes fun to try and figure out like, oh, this doesn't belong here. We need to pull it and put it over here. Or like going through these bags and just like, it's a game in a way to find like what doesn't belong. And making sure it gets in the place that it needs to.
And you get such benefit of living and thriving in clean spaces. And it's bizarre sometimes because we walk outside the garden and there's trash. There's trash left behind. And Balboa Park does an incredible job of keeping it clean too. But there's just so many people and people that don't have the same sensibilities as all of us, and even us. Like,
we're not perfect.
No, I know. You should see our house, right? our home can be messy too, because it's just, life is so busy and there's so much to do. But when you stop and think about it, like, if you pick up a piece of trash, it feels so good and it's so cool because you can see it. Like, you see, if you actually stop and you clean an area that, like, it's not your trash, it's someone else's trash. It feels so rewarding to just to know what it was like before and just to make an impact. And you don't even know, like, I mean, the plants and animals especially, like, that's the biomes and those worlds you never get to see, like how much more they get to thrive because they're not they're not having to struggle with your trash or a stranger's trash. Like, and I don't know, it ends up all coming back to us eventually. The cleanliness, the integrity, the intention, it all comes back around. And it's not the trash, really. It's just about who we are as people and the attention to detail and the responsibilities that we can take on as from little ones, or like from older people. Like, it's not too late. You can always
it's never too late.
You can grow.
Yeah. I remember at the Cherry Blossom Festival, I picked up some trash in the garden, and then you guys were at the waste station throughout the garden, and I was like, this goes, I don't know where this trash goes, but you guys just made it fun. Like, you were making sure the trash, like, you were educated in those like 30 seconds or 10 seconds. It's just throwing the trash away. That doesn't take that much long. It's just like 5 seconds of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So if everyone does that, and then that just adds up, and where you are, and you just clean.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That is exactly how trash works, right? If we are careless and we let it go, like, trash finds its way into our oceans, finds its way into our homes, finds its way into in us. But if we do it the opposite way and we keep it clean, it compounds over time, and we're just gonna thrive as a species. We're gonna thrive as a planet, being that much more cleaner, more waste aware, more better, more gooder.
Yeah.
So it works either way. It's which direction do you want to choose?
Yeah, because we're like, it's so big, but like, we're all on the earth together with like other species, anything. We feel like we're the king of the world, but like you say, we're sharing the space, so it's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
It's just a little thing, but that little thing can lead to a huge change.
Yeah.
And being educated by you guys. And yeah, that's amazing. So you did the cosplay cleanup inside the bubble park, but that was outside the garden, inside the park. How was that?
That was so much fun.
What a
that
treat.
was so much fun. It's really funny. We've had people ask us in the past. They're like, "Oh, can I do something like this?" Or when we've been out cleaning, and they're like, "Oh, are you guys hiring?" Or like, can I come do this? Or where did you
And
get your costumes? And like,
never get to respond to it because we're wearing
never get to
masks. We don't
respond to
talk, but it's so
But it was cool
sweet.
that we were able to partner with the garden to create this cleanup so that people could dress up and they could go around and pick up trash. And it was so much fun.
It was a dream come true.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm a very sentimental person. But, I like it. Just I don't know. I get teary eyed thinking about like how many people showed up because they cared. You know, sure, it's a fun thing to do, and we wanted. That's what we do. It's just like It doesn't have to be hard, and it doesn't have to be boring. Like we can have fun picking up trash. You know,
Right.
like sure you can put your high vis yellow vests on, and you can go to work with your, cleaning up your community, and that's so needed. But sometimes you can make picking up trash fun, and we had over 30, like almost 40 people
Yeah.
come in costume
Yeah.
and join us, and
Yeah.
and get a chance to like do what we do, but do it their way.
Exactly.
And that was so beautiful to see. It was so like full circle. Like what a full circle day, and we're so grateful for the garden to give us that opportunity to play and to think what we're doing is impactful enough and cool enough to partner with and say, hey, let's be unconventional and let's
Right.
clean up in costume. And people love that. People really want to do good. I think it's just finding those fun ways to make it easier to do good.
Yeah.
We picked up almost 70 pounds of trash just within
Yeah, I
an
think so.
hour just outside the garden. That's what
Yeah.
we're saying. Like it's a hard one to do in the garden because there's not
Because
trash.
there's not
like that,
trash,
you
but
know?
yeah, doing it outside at Balboa Park. It was the weekend after Comic-Con, so I think there was a good amount of trash that was still left over from everybody that comes to visit San Diego for Comic-Con. It's a big weekend, so
Yeah, so we wanted to, and we know Balboa Park is the thing to do
Right.
in San Diego, so we knew
Yeah.
that it would be a lot of trash. So, and then to have, people already kind of had those costumes for Comic-Con, give them
Right.
another opportunity to wear them, and that's something we want to continue to do because it's a fun thing. It's not exactly conventional, but
Right.
it's a beautiful thing to see people just care and they want to have some fun at the same time.
Yeah, that looked really fun. You guys did like some photo shoot, and I'm sure they loved it.
Yeah, you can. You
Yeah.
I see my JFK office costume.
Yeah.
You're
My
cosplaying.
everyday wear. That looks really fun.
It's good to see you that day.
Yeah.
So this is a very broad question, but what's your goal as CleanUp Kitsune?
What is in our goal? You got this one.
Do
Do you
I?
want me to get this
I
one?
mean,
You go first.
okay, I'll go first. Inspiration, I think, is like the biggest. It's, I think, learning through inspiration rather than being told, hey, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to do it. This is why it's important. I think it's really just helping people change and learn through inspiration and grow. I guess that's kind of a broad answer, but
Well, no, I think it's a good one. That's the one we chose. I mean, we haven't always been environmentalists. Like, I haven't always been CleanUp Kitsune. I mean, like, maybe a part of us was like always meant to do this sort of thing, but if we can change, anyone can. And like you said, Lila, I think inspiration is it. What we're trying to do is like we need policy. We need people need to be told what to do. There's just not enough time to learn it all. But there's another pocket of people that like to be fascinated, like to be inspired, like to be entertained. And that's where we come in. Our goal is we want to create a program where people can choose rather than being forced to comply. We want people to find the fun in caring for our planet, caring for our homes, caring for ourselves. And CleanUp Kitsune it's that vehicle for us. It's that vessel for us. It's that that way of doing things that makes us so much better. Like, I mean, like from the outside perspective, sure, like we're not quite sure, but from the inside perspective, I mean, it changes our hearts when we see so many people get inspired, or people that get changed, they get it, what we're doing, and it makes a difference to them in that moment. You know, they may forget about us, or they may take something with us. It's not for us to decide. But what we want to do is we want to create a program, a school program for kids. We want to create a book. We want to create a game. We want to create an anime series. We want to, I think the best way that we could all have a bit more positivity, growth enter our lives if it was a bit more passive, because learning becomes such this extra thing. We have, like Lila and I were talking about documentaries. Like, it's such work to watch documentaries because it's always like, this is the state of like our lives, and it's such a heavy topic. But
it's necessary.
Right.
But I know that like with the state of the world, it's like people sit down to watch something to escape in a way, and so documentaries, like, while absolutely like lucrative to conveying information and for like a marker in time as to like what's happening, I know that it's hard for a lot of people to sit down and watch them because we're already living it. Like, we're already inundated with it, like we know. And you sit down to watch something for like maybe a little bit of a relief from that. So creating something that maybe presents it in a way
lighter way,
is lighter,
more digestible.
Exactly.
You know, that people are passively it becomes a part of their life and a stepping stone, not just like an overnight changing who they are.
Yeah.
But we want to make it fun. We want to make it easygoing. We want people to have fun with it. And we love Japanese culture is like a huge part of our lives now. And being at Japanese festivals and traveling for festival and traveling for other Japanese gardens, friendship gardens, and being here at like our home garden. I mean, it's just become the Japanese culture itself, if we can speak to that, it's just become a part of who we are. And there's such students, we're like always learning and always trying to enrich ourselves and bringing that culture to CleanUp Kitsune. And we want to spread more environmental awareness through yokai and through storytelling, but doing it in a fun way for people that don't have to they can get their feet wet, or they can just enjoy what's happening with CleanUp Kitsune so much that it becomes a part of their life in that way. Or they can take what they've learned from CleanUp Kitsune and they can start to build their own ways of change.
Right.
But inspiration is exactly like our goal for this, is just to inspire a generation of hopefully Americans to adopt a more accountable way of living as humans, and bringing some fun and some kindness, to what we do, because without any of this, without kindness, there is no anything. If we can't be here for each other, what's the point?
Well, that's inspirational. Seriously.
We're doing our job.
You guys are here almost every Free Tuesday.
That's
Thank
right.
you. So if you want to meet them, they're here. They might not. They're not gonna be able to say hi, but they will.
We will wave at you.
Yeah. And I heard you guys are coming back to our Cherry Blossom Festival next year.
We're so excited.
We're so excited.
That was 4 days of just awesomeness. Everybody, I was just so happy to be here, and the flowers, you're anticipating this visual display of Japanese culture, and I think the blossoms themselves are so inspiring for people.
Absolutely.
But everybody's so happy, everybody's so fun, there's so much culture, there's so much I love hearing the taiko drums from wherever I am in the
garden.
park.
Yeah, definitely.
And everybody's got a smile on their face, and everybody's just having a good time. It's just such a fun time to be. The spring is so good, it's so transitional, and it's such a great time to enjoy the garden, especially because you have this the trees they're coming out of dormant, and they're coming into after the rainy season. There's all this lush greenery.
Yeah, the hummingbirds are nesting in some of the trees. You can see their nests sometimes, and it's fun.
We love seeing the garden bustling, even though like it's a really nice place to be when it's like there's nobody
Super
here. Like we
quiet.
love coming on rainy days when there's
Yeah.
nothing going on, and like you can just sit and take it all in. But we love it when everybody comes together. As it's a wild time because there's
It
so
is
many
wild,
people,
yeah.
but that's the fun of it. That's the allure. Like that's the humanity like shining through, you know. So
Yeah, so if you guys want to be part of the Happy Helpers,
please join us.
Yeah.
Please. We'd love for anybody interested to be part of the Happy Helpers and be a part of like a group of people that are just taking, you know, care of the garden in a natural way, but also like that skill set that you learn, you can take it
home with you.
with you.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. I know you guys have a lot of contents on your social medias. I've seen some of the show. What do you call those?
Oh.
Quiz interview things?
yeah, Wastewise.
Wastewise. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's our nonprofit.
Yeah.
Our nonprofit's called All Goods, and we work in consumer and waste education. And we just have fun with it. That too. It's like it's a media company, but we're trying to make environmental education digestible for people, and that's where CleanUp Kitsune came in.
Yeah.
We wanted something a little bit. I keep going back to the word unconventional, but like you know. Just
I mean, I think a lot of what we
different.
do, everything that we've done so far has been different and unconventional, and I think that's really where we're trying to find that playfulness, that help for people.
Yeah, Wastewise is it's a garbage game show where we ask random people on the streets, questions about waste, and it's like it's a great way. Like we don't know it all. Like we're learning the questions.
Exactly.
You know, like we just learned the questions, did all the research, and then we're bringing it to random strangers, and that's the appeal of it. It's like, you know, I'm reading off a cue card, so I'm in a trash can and I'm reading off a cue card, and
That's right.
it's really fun because like, you know, people need more fun, especially as strangers. Like there's just people are weird, but people are really good-hearted and kind-hearted, so it's hard to have time for it all. But when you actually stop and you get a stranger's opinion and they have the same opinion as you, it's like it's really rewarding to find like there's so many like-minded people out there that just want like better for all of us, for all of this life, and it's cool to see.
Yeah,
people are cool. Yeah.
I'll put the links to the Wastewise as well so everyone can watch it. I love that show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Personally.
We've been on a little hiatus of it
Yeah.
because we've been working on a nonprofit, more and stuff. But thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you, Momo. Thank you for wanting to sit down with us to talk with us, and thank you to the Japanese Friendship Garden and Museum. We heart you guys. Can't heart you guys so much. This is you are our people. This is our place. This is such a great place for people just listening. If you're just stumbling across the Japanese Friendship Garden, it's been around just for forever, and this is it's such a pocket of Balboa Park that it's kind of like us in that way. It's like people stumble across the garden and didn't know us here. We hear that all the time because it's not like these big buildings that the rest of Balboa Park has. It's kind of this sunken village of culture, and it's so cool when you go through the gates and you go into this natural place that's hidden amongst this very busy city. What a cool place that you guys create for people to sit down and to listen and to observe and to enjoy the culture of Japan. So thank you for creating a place that all of us wanted to be and to take care of. So thank you for having us.